So Stephen, I would love to hear a little bit about like how you create maintenance reliability programs for the mining industry. What's a similar across all industries, and what's also unique to the mining industry?
So yeah, that's a great question. So when we're looking at what's so all the industries, they're really not that different, with the exception of maybe electrical stuff. Kind of gets into more things I'm certainly less familiar with, but the principles that how you apply reliability are certainly the same. But on the mechanical side, really, it's all just gears, bearings, varying degrees of how big and small they are, and so how you treat them really isn't that different. Um, with with a haul truck, with mobile equipment versus fixed equipment, you've got this extra thing bouncing down the road. Speeds are variable. Torque within the gears is variable. That's where you see a big difference. Like you'll get a lot more, you get a lot of different kinds of fatigue failures within the mobile equipment just because it's the loading isn't consistent. So if you're trying to follow like your regular fatigue curve for trying to figure out how some when something's going to fail, well, it's really hard to do on a mobile piece of equipment because it's loaded differently, and every mine has a different load factor. So things aren't apples to apples all the time. You know, the mining industry really likes to think that everybody is completely different, um, but really the different operation, you might just have a different failure mode that starts to rear its head versus one mine to another.
So
Um,
how do you account for that difference in load factor, for mobile equipment versus fixed assets?
Well, so for fixed assets, it's a lot easier to understand your load factor because it's running typically the same speed all the time. You'll get the occasional group that'll just design something to its maximum working uh, pressure or whatever it is instead of kind of looking at that efficiency curve. But in reliability, really, we tend to deal with whatever we're given. The load factors on like a truck, it really depends. If you're hauling uphill, you're going to have a really high load factor for that haul. So you tend to average it over the course of the haul. But the other issue is hauls change. Trucks are put on a different haul. Some are flat, some go uphill, some go downhill. So it varies a lot. With a lot of the sensors, you can actually just plot your load factor and watch it over time and see how that changes. And then usually we'll just take an average to try and make sense of it.